Okay, so this question is, I'm not losing weight like everybody else, and this is in a Reddit about GLP-1s, Ozempic. So I've been taking it for about a month now, and I've only lost 3 to 4 pounds. I noticed my pants are fitting a bit looser. I guess my only question is, how long does it take to lose a substantial amount of weight? I'm currently at 204. I need to lose 40 in total. I walk 3 to 4 days a week for 45 minutes. I eat salads and red meat. I don't exercise as much when I'm on my period. Probably need more protein in my diet, if anything. Am I being impatient? Yes. Or is there something I'm doing wrong? Wondering if I should go up in dosage. Thanks. So before we dive in, obviously we're not doctors, so we're going to speak from the stay within our scope. We're not really going to touch dosage and whether this is good or bad for you. That's a doctor conversation. We're going to speak from our viewpoint, which is exercise, nutrition, all the lifestyle things which you have to incorporate. You can't just start taking Ozempic and not change a thing about your lifestyle.
And to clarify, we both have many clients that are on or have been on not just Ozempic, but like there's a bunch of different GLP-1s, but various types of GLP-1s.
Yeah.
So this is also speaking from experience.
So we're very familiar. So what are your initial thoughts to that? Besides, I think we both agree they're being a bit impatient, which is fair.
Yeah. One thing I just want to check: did she say she doesn't work out? Does she mean she doesn't work out in general, or just on her period?
She walks 3 to 4 days a week for 45 minutes, something like that.
And that's her exercise.
Yeah, that's the extent of her exercise.
So I think the biggest thing with it's not even just GLP-1s. That's just the one that's like the most, like the newest, essentially. But weight loss, like medically assisted weight loss in general, most of them, the very like holistic, health forward ones, which GLP-1s do technically fall under that, are not usually going to be you're going to drop 6 pounds a week for 6 weeks. They are, all they're really giving you is you're going to lose weight at roughly what is considered the maximum healthy rate. Maybe a little bit faster, but usually not much, and that's not even guaranteed. What you're getting out of it is it's just a little bit more linear. Like if you're doing it on your own, especially if you have like other things going on, your like weight loss is going to look like this. Whereas when you're on a GLP-1, it's going to be a little bit more of a steady decline. That's like the only difference.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be a little push.
Yeah, with my clients, like most of them do still fall on between 1 to 3 pounds of weight loss per week. 3 is considered like, it would be excessive if they weren't on a GLP-1, but that's about as fast as I've seen. And I have clients that have more than 100 pounds to lose, and they're still the fastest is 3 pounds a week.
Yeah.
So yes, they're being impatient. The other thing, again, with this and any other medically assisted weight loss is, even if it's surgery, you have to still build the habits. So whether that's going to speed it up or not, you have to build them, because if you don't build those habits while you're on it, you've wasted your time, your money, you've put your body through things, because there's side effects, almost everyone has some. You've put your body through this, and then you're just going to gain it all right back because you never learned how to lose it. You just had something do it for you.
Yeah. Even if they don't have the side effects, it's like there's nothing mentally worse than like losing, like this person, losing 40 pounds and then it comes back. It's like that. Yeah. Even if that happens once, but for people it's happened over and over and over in that constant yo-yo, the reason that happens is because they're doing like a crash diet or trying to take a shortcut one way or another, and they're not truly making fundamental changes. Which, like, again, the drug can be a bit of a shortcut to get there quicker, but you still got to make, and it'll get you. You could make no changes, and the drug will probably get you there on its own.
About a pound a week, which is what they're experiencing.
It's going to take you right back.
Yeah.
They're at least doing some things. It's like it's not like they're doing nothing. But like my initial reaction was they need to incorporate some. I think they can incorporate some strength training, if not on top of what they're already doing, even at just like twice a week. Like if they already feel like they're, I don't know how intense this feels for them, doing 3 to 4 times a week of 45 minutes each. They could just scale back like 3 to 4 times a week of walking, only 30 minutes, and then that hour that they already had, they just bought an extra hour of exercise. Basically, if they took 15 minutes away from each day, and then put that into resistance training.
Or even just still do the same number of days and just trade 1, maybe 2, depending on their comfort level, out for strength training. Whatever, like there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it should be a part of it.
Yeah, and people's pushback to that is probably going to be, well, I don't really care about building muscle or getting strong. I just want to lose this weight. And it's like, that's totally fair. But there's a lot of different ways to resistance train. And the benefit of resistance training for weight loss is it is just going to, 1, improve metabolism overall, but also it's going to, when we lift weights, our body continues burning calories even when you're sitting on the couch at home later that day versus when you do cardio. You burn a larger amount during the session, but at the end of that, just to keep going back to their example, at the end of that 45 minutes, once they've burnt, say they burn
400.
Say they burn
100.
It's a hell of a walk. It's a hell of a walk.
100.
Say they burned 100 in like 40. That's probably low. Whatever. Say they burned 100 in 45 minutes. They burned 100. That's it. Minute 46, they're not burning any more calories. Versus you resistance train for 45 minutes, you might only burn 50, but then even an hour, 2 hours, maybe longer after, when you're back at your desk in your work day or just relaxing for the night, your body keeps burning calories. And it's just how it responds differently.
Yeah. The other thing, and even if that isn't a motivator, like even if you don't care if it speeds up your progress because it's moving fast enough, you don't care about being stronger, you don't care about building muscle, there's also a safety reason, especially if you are on a weight loss drug to lose more than like 30 pounds. You've probably experienced this, but I've experienced this a few times with clients that have like more than 30 pounds to lose. If they've had that on them for a long time, once they start to lose the weight, because essentially, like especially around the pelvis, that weight sits in a particular place, and when they lose it, suddenly their joints are a little bit loose and unstable, and they start having weird aches and pains, because what happens is, like, if you have enough weight in your midsection, it splays it open. So if you're not strength training, you're going to lose that belly fat, which is wonderful, but then your hips are still open.
Your body's like, well, what the hell is this?
And then, you will get back pain, knee pain, hip pain. Like, I think most people, if they really think about it, they probably know someone who lost a lot of weight, and they're like, yeah, but now I'm achy.
Yeah.
It's not like, it is losing the weight, but it's usually like they lost the weight through like just cardio and diet, and they didn't strength train to like have the stability around those joints again. So if you don't care about any of the aesthetics of strength training, if you're on a weight loss path, strength training is important to just keep you out of pain. And that can be like body weight strength training, resistance, but you don't have to go to a gym. You could do it at home if you're uncomfortable. Like, some kind of strength training is very important for weight loss for a lot
even
of
just body
reasons.
Even if nothing else, just body weight resistance training, bands, whatever. It doesn't have to be your, like, everyone looks at like weightlifting and resistance training is like, I gotta go slap a bunch of weight on a bar. It's like there are so many different versions
one type of
externally loading and doing all the kind of movement patterns we're meant to do. That was the main one, honestly. Like, if they incorporate some strength training, and then on the nutrition side, did you have a note for? We don't really know much about her nutrition besides she eats salads and red meats. Like,
so I'm gonna kind of infer based off of that as more of like a learning lesson for the general public. Let's say that is literally all she eats, because I have had clients that when they're trying to like eat clean, which is not really a phrase that I like, but they like try to eat healthy or whatever it is, it will be literally salad and meat, and that is the whole thing. One, that is not enjoyable for most just normal people. So there is this idea that, like, this idea that the most important vegetables are the green ones, which they're wonderful, they're great, and you should eat them, but you have to have all the other colors too. And there's also this idea that you get more nutrients out of raw vegetables. Also not true. You get different nutrients from different things. So I think that it sounds like they could be stuck in that, like, okay, eating healthy is just plain meat for protein, the highest protein meat I can find, which is why it's red meat. That's like the highest protein meat. So find the densest protein meat, and then raw vegetables, and that's it. And that's fine, like once a week or a couple times a week, depending on how their body functions. But they could use a little bit more variety, and like, if that's truly all they're doing, a little bit more variety in the way they prepare their vegetables, the types of vegetables, their protein sources.
Types of protein, yeah.
And
she said that too. She's like, I might not get enough protein, so this honestly.
They're eating red meat and not getting enough protein. Yeah, there's the.
Yeah, two birds with one stone, really. Like, if she needs to diversify or get more, this will accomplish both. But a general just nutritional tip, even if just for general health, like not even losing weight or building muscle or anything, it's like red meat, you really want to keep that to like once a week, maybe twice. But if it's twice, like smaller portions, but call it 1 to 2 regardless. And the reason for that is because it's just a little tougher for our body to process and digest. Like if you eat red meat every single day, which people do, like it's just tougher on your digestive system. And if your goal is weight loss and your digestive system is having to work harder to basically get out this tougher to process protein, it's going to slow down all the other processes of your metabolism, which
and more is going to be stored.
Yeah, and it's like so your body is going to spend less energy pulling from your reserve fat stores, which is going to help you lose weight. It's going to spend more time processing the red meat versus if you ate like chicken breast, ground turkey, anything leaner, fish, salmon, whatever. Like
plant protein.
It's just any plant protein. It's just going to be. It's just easier and less work for your body, so it can continue to focus and put its energy towards losing the weight to keep it short and sweet. So she could keep the red meat to once or twice a week, or if she, maybe just cut it out. Not just to cut it out entirely, but like once every other week, if she finds something she enjoys. Like if she really wants to. If she is really impatient and wants to do everything she can do, it's like, all right, stick to chicken, ground turkey, and fish. Chill on the red meat for a couple weeks and see how your progress is. Incorporate strength training, and I think she didn't mention water. Let's assume she's drinking enough water, but maybe not.
That can also help.
Make sure she's drinking enough water. So, and that will probably, but like, above all else, like a pound a week is great progress.
Yeah,
like,
it is. And then the other thing, just touching on the protein from working with my clients that are on various appetite suppressant and weight loss drugs, GLP-1s, whatever, because they're appetite suppressants, meat in general can sometimes be difficult because it's heavier. So I'm finding that a lot of them like are struggling with protein just because like their appetite is so low they can't. Like that kind of dense meal is hard. So for those where the appetite suppression is really intense for them and it's like, I can't stomach anything, that's where you lean on your plant protein.
That's why I'm surprised, like red meat. It's like because I've heard those same, like it's like having any appetite is rough for some people on these drugs. And it's like, I don't think that's the problem for this person. They're housing some kind of
red meat,
burger meat or steak meat or something with. Yeah,
that's true. But it could be like, that's their one main meal and they're having a salad.
Right.
So, but yeah, like plant proteins, like if they're having salads, if that's what it looks like I've had my clients add edamame, so soybeans, on their salad as a protein instead of adding like shredded chicken, which is heavier. It feels lighter. Like if you're on a GLP-1, this is a good time to like dip your toe into like the tofu and tempeh world because it's easier to stomach, it's lighter. So like
protein shakes,
yogurt,
those Greek yogurt, maybe
the like denser like dairy proteins, those like not just like animal meat proteins are a good thing to incorporate when you're on something that's like making anything difficult to keep down. This applies to people who have also had weight loss surgery. They tend to need the plant protein. So it's a good thing to have in your repertoire if you're like doing something that's going to affect your appetite.
Yeah. So, for this person, I think keep the red meat to once a week, diversify your protein sources. That's going to probably accomplish a few things for them. The benefit of enough protein for losing weight, again, if you don't give a lick about getting stronger, building muscle, getting adequate protein is going to just help regulate your hunger hormones and help you control your appetite, which, yes, the medication is doing that, but it's good to just already have that behavior in place so that way when you come off this medicine or this drug, you're not like, your appetite doesn't come roaring back. You have you are preparing your body for the day you come off the drug, whenever that is, and your hormones are all intact in place, and you can have a smooth transition back to the outside, so to speak, of like being drug free and getting to where you want to be and maintaining and benefiting from all that work. So as a general weight loss tip too, you want to be getting adequate protein. It's not getting enough protein is not just a tip for someone who
want to get jacked.
Right, exactly. So it has its benefits for weight loss as well. But yeah, I think that's it. For me.
I think that's it. Just all this, pretend you're not on the drug is basically the rule. Pretend you're trying to lose weight and you don't have the drug. Do the same thing you would and you're gonna have the best
Yeah.
success.
Yeah, let it be an additive, not a crutch. Don't just depend on it, because once you come off of it, you're gonna be right back where you started day one, and with probably a more damaged metabolism and definitely a more damaged mindset.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be tough to take that journey again.
Yeah.
So do it the right way. It might take a little longer, but it'll be the
one
only time you have to do it. Yep.
Just the one time. So